who is this for? If you're building Clay workflows, this will be maybe interesting how it's built. If you're interested in the results, for example, for lead qualification and for account scoring, then you will be interested in why Clay's data is more interesting than off-the-shelf data. I made a mistake. Clay doesn't have data. You can acquire data with Clay. Very important. I actually wanted to call this why Clay is like painting with data. This is like how I look at it. I hope it makes sense when I walk you through that. Let's first look at what's a standard off-the-shelf enrichment. Let's say we look at these companies. They just went through the qualification filter, so I want to know if these companies are hiring sales roles specifically. And there is an integration in Clay where I can just say find active job openings, and the way it works, I pointed to a LinkedIn URL or a company domain. I look for certain job title keywords. I had ChatGPT come up with all kinds of sales roles, so I capture really most of them, and this is pretty good. So for a lot of the companies, you get decent matches, not bad at all, but you can get better. This data everybody has. So when you look at this, no job found, no job found, here are a few jobs found, but then there are also a few where LinkedIn doesn't find any data. And why is that? Because LinkedIn only looks for job data on LinkedIn, right? And if you've ever posted a job on LinkedIn, you post it today and tomorrow you have 789 applicants. So is that great? I don't know. So companies actually post somewhere else. And this is how I build something that combines LinkedIn search results and all other websites where companies may post their jobs, or relevant websites, into one column actually, or into one result column. This is how it works. How do people find jobs? They either go directly to the company website, or you do a search roughly like this. Company name and open roles or jobs or careers or open positions, something like that. That search is not even perfectly from the syntax. But what it gives you is all the websites where the company posts their jobs. This is specifically because it always contains the company name, the sites where that company posts that. And I'm not even looking at those results specifically. What happens here is Google search, that is like an API. So the Google search is kind of free. It doesn't use a Clay credit or something. And what that gives me is kind of the first 2 to 3 results will be the most interesting pages I want to look at, which is pretty cool. And what I'm doing next is I'm feeding those results into a longer prompt where I'm using GPT-4o Mini as a model. The reason for that is when you prompt it well and you give it good guardrails, what it's supposed to do, then it can generate amazing results on a lot of text, and that at an extremely low price, which of course is important. In this case, we want to run this on, 20,000 contacts. So that really adds up. So what's happening here? And I don't want to make this a prompting session per se, but this is what you need to do to get good results. The task is that I want to know if the company is hiring for any sales roles, and then I wanted to read the whole prompt. I don't want it to do any Google searches. What I'm instead doing, I'm feeding that prompt exactly those 3 top search results for each of those companies. That means I give it guardrails. I'm not asking to come up with your own Google searches. I define the Google searches, or have defined the Google search, and then I feed the best results into this prompt. Then this looks for sales roles. It must be actual sales roles, not like that we get a Glassdoor review of a job. And what I realized is this captures a lot of good data when you compare it side by side, actually the thing I've built and the thing LinkedIn finds. At least there are no false positives, which is already pretty cool, but it didn't find jobs that were only posted on LinkedIn. And I wanted to fold that into here too. This was one example where on LinkedIn we found a few jobs, and this was in the previous version I've built not captured. So what I did was to look at where do LinkedIn jobs live, and they live on this domain. I'm gonna show that quickly. They live on this domain, linkedin.com/jobs/view, and then there must always the company name be in there. And what I then was construct a search that will capture kind of all the keywords that must be in a sales role. I mean, if it's sales executive or sales director or whatever, there's always sales in it, right? Or business development or BDR or SDR, things like that. And with that search, with that Google search, I absolutely capture sales jobs that are posted on LinkedIn. And, you know, jobs are always scrapable or public because you want jobs to be found naturally. And with that in mind, I integrated exactly this search into the prompt, which first looks for the separate Google search, finding all kinds of career pages. And then it also looks exactly at this search that I just showed, which will turn out or turn up all LinkedIn job posts. Then the step 4 is visit those results, look at those pages. I could define, look at the top 3 or something like that, but it worked well enough. And then determine based on step 2, look at the careers page, look at step 4, this is the LinkedIn results, determine if there are sales related job openings. A few general instructions that, you know, I don't want job reviews, I want actual jobs. And if you can't determine if they are hiring, say no. And that's it, a little bit constrained how the output should look like. There you always have to be very explicit, otherwise it starts, hey, based on my research, I found this and that. But yeah, the trick is construct Google searches that give you the results you want, feed those results into a well-written prompt, combine all of that together, and you get amazing data that is better than an off-the-shelf data point, which gives you an edge over over companies that use only off-the-shelf data points. And with that, you have either a tighter match or you cast a wider net, depending on what's good for what you want to achieve. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show. Thanks for watching.